Hello, welcome back. So, I have literally today just got off of social media where I did a live all about making the most of business events. I did this over on Instagram, and as always, I optimised my time efficiently and I repurposed it for YouTube. However, I did decide to expand on that a little bit more and actually do an episode on this because it's such a big topic and there is so much more that I can share on this. So, yeah, here I am talking about events again. In fact, the whole theme of May right now is going to be focused on events, especially on my social media channels, because in case you didn't know, I do have my innovation celebration event coming up at the end of the year. In November 2025, we are going to be celebrating our businesses together and our achievements, and we are going to be innovating and working on our strategy for 2026. And I cannot wait. But I'll talk a little bit about that further in this episode. But I want to introduce you to today's topic and give you all the value, as always. So, whether you're an event junkie or someone who's been avoiding name badges and breakout rooms, today's episode is going to change the way you look at business events. I'm talking about how to make the most of your events, whether you're attending, hosting them, or still wondering where to find the right ones. With my own event, Innovation Celebration, on the horizon, I wanted to give you my best tips for showing up fully and using events to grow your brand, your confidence, and build those all important connections. So let's get right into it. The first thing I want to talk about is attending events with intention, because the thing is, I think it's real easy to get sucked into going to these events but not going with the right mindset or preparing ourselves and making an impact during the event or after the event. So I really want to talk you through attending the events with attention. Intention. Can't even speak. I've just eaten. It's not always a great idea to record a podcast episode after lunch. I tell you that right now. Oh, when I'm drinking Pepsi, and what do I have beside me? A glass of Pepsi, because my throat gets dry. I do have water as well, but it makes me want to burp and it makes me hiccup, and it's not a good idea, guys, but we roll anyway. So, attending events with intention. Mindset first. So, don't just go to the event to tick the box because your business coach told you to, or your business bestie told you to, and everybody else is going to events and they're networking and they're learning and growing. Don't just go as a tick box exercise. You want to go with a purpose. Like, think about what is it that you're aiming to get out of that event. What is your goal? Are you going to be connecting with people? Are you aiming for visibility? Are you aiming to learn? And to be honest, for me, a lot of events, I want all of that. Give me it all. I want to make those connections, but I want to see who I can learn from. I want to get visible. And I just enjoy it, to be fair. For me, it's a really fun part of business is getting to go to events and have conversations with like-minded people. So first thing, mindset first. Go prepared. Don't just go as a tick box exercise. And then, how do you actually get prepared? So have a clear introduction prepared. Practice what it is that you actually do, otherwise known as your elevator pitch. Because I think sometimes, if you're new to the game as well, you might get there and you might think, actually, how do I introduce myself? And I know that some seasoned pros with events still struggle with this. Even I still struggle with this because I seem to say it a different way every time, and the way I introduce myself evolves over time. But if you are stuck with this, just make it super clear who you are, what you do, and who you help. And that is quite a common system, process, statement's the right word, that people do when it comes to introductions at events. But as long as you share what it is that you do, and especially in your unique way, you're good to go. Also, in terms of preparation, bring your business cards or something with a QR code on. You can have a thing on your phone with a QR code that goes to your website or a link tree. Actually, I'd recommend it going to your email list or social media because you want to capture that lead as a follower, as part of your audience. You don't want to lose them to your website unless the website's going to have a pop-up and pull them in. But business cards are not outdated, so think about what can you take, a business card, a flyer, some kind of material that you can hand out to people when you're telling them about your business. If someone sounds interested, hey, do you want to take a card? Do you want to take a flyer? And I did share in the live that I recorded this morning on social media that when I recently went to a networking event, wasn't my own, it was someone else's. I left my business cards on the table and I saw a few people take them. And then what happened next was really interesting. I went home that afternoon and I checked my emails and I sat there thinking, how have people signed up to my organised business toolkit? Because I knew I'd not shared it on social media. I knew I hadn't sent an email about it. And it was very, very limited chances that people could find it through my website because the SEO wasn't on there yet, right? So I was thinking, how is it that people have signed up today? And it was quite a few. And then I remembered it's on my business card. And I went to a networking event this morning. So these people had obviously taken action, which is really interesting. So it means that that business card had impact. And it was very simple. All I put on there was who I am, what I do, picture of myself, and QR code with a call to action to get the freebie. So that was really powerful, and I'd highly, highly recommend that you do it if you are bringing materials to an event. Get people to take an action. Think about what your dream clients would want. Next up, in terms of preparation, plan what you're going to wear. Something on brand, maybe, but also comfortable. And I want you to think about being recognised as yourself. So think about, how do you show up on social media? How are people going to recognise you in person? How are they going to know it's you? But also making sure you're comfortable and also making sure that it's authentic as well. So when people see me in person, I'm always just as bright coloured as I am online. It's not just part of my branding, it's part of who I am. I've always worn funky colours. So that is what I will turn up to an event to looking like. And I'm very well known for my pink hair, although right now at the moment it is just my natural colour. The pink has worn out, but the pink will return in a couple of weeks, 17th of May. But I'm loving my natural colour at the minute, but I do miss the pink as well. It's kind of a juxtaposition. But I am recognised for that. As soon as someone knows me, sees me, they know who I am. They recognise the girl with the glasses and the pink hair, usually wearing pink or purple as well. On brand, stand out, recognisable, because they might have seen me on social media. Or if they've just met me for the first time and then they go follow me on social media, they can recognise that it's me. So think about, what are you coming across? How are you presenting yourself? Prepare yourself for that. And then finally, when it comes to preparation, have a couple of conversation starters or questions in mind, because it might be that it depends, if you're online, you might get put into a Zoom breakout, right? And no one's talking, everybody's quite shy. Think about how you can lead the conversation with a conversation starter or a question. It could be in person, you want to go speak to someone but you're not sure, so have your conversation starters prepared, or a question. And I tell you what works really, really well as well is getting the other person to talk about themselves. It works so well. And people love to talk about themselves, so you're going to come across great if you're asking about them. So these could be something you can prepare and have in mind before the event. But what about during the event? So during the event, speak to people outside your circle. I got really guilty, really used to just talking to the people that I already knew, because it was in my comfort zone, because it was easy, because it was comfortable. And recently, I'm always networking and I'm always meeting new people, but I've gone out of my way to actually make a connection with those people. So if my friend's there, that's great. I can see her anytime. But I'm going to go speak to that new person that I'm interested in. So speak to people outside of your usual circle. It's the only way you're going to build new connections. The only reason you know these people in the first place is because you had that conversation with them to start. So how can you expand your horizons and have new conversations? By speaking to people outside your usual circle. Also use social media to connect in real time. So it's a really good idea to showcase on social media that you've been to an event. Not only do people love to see behind the scenes, but if you tag the host, they might share it on their social media. You could tag the venue, who also may share it on social media, and you can tag other attendees who also may share it on social media. And when they do, their followers and their people are going to see it too, so that expands your reach even further. But also, by doing this, you can then connect with those people. So if you tag other attendees, they might not all be following you, so they might then actually following you back. So build that connection with them on social media as well, so that you can continue connecting with them afterwards. And don't be afraid to follow up immediately after the event while you're still fresh in that person's mind. So, for example, when I had those sign-ups to that toolkit, looking back, I'm always auditing and learning from experience, but looking back, I could have looked at who signed up and popped that person a message and say, oh, nice to meet you today. I've noticed you've signed up for my toolkit. Thanks for that. I hope you get some value from it. And see what then they might say, yeah, I've had a look and blah, 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 right? And we have a conversation. Then in a couple of weeks' time, I could always follow up again and say, oh, did you get to use the toolkit? How did you find it? And see what they say. We're just having a conversation. And that starts the relationship building. It can be just as easy as that. Just those simple, effective ways to build a connection with someone. So after the event, follow up with your connections, message them, email them, or connect with them on social media. I want you to make sure you're actually actively making those connections, because there's no point connecting with new people if we're not actually connecting and conversing. So make sure you do follow up. It's a huge vital part of networking that I know not a lot of people are doing, and that's why you might not be getting the results from the events that you're attending. And then I want you to reflect from each event that you go to as well. Think about what went well at that event and what could you do differently next time. One thing I'm really proud of with Innovation Celebration is how easy we're making it for attendees to network and feel included. We are actually going to have breaks throughout the day between each speaker for you to go actively network. We're going to have exhibitions, so you can go have a look there, get to know those businesses and network. You can network with everybody in the room. We're going to actively encourage networking. Those who have got a VIP ticket in the afternoon, they're going to get to mastermind with the experts and come for a luxury 4-star restaurant dinner. Those people are going to be able to network in the room on that day as well. So there's lots of networking opportunities included. So it's not just about learning and celebrating and growing. There's so much to it. It's like a multi-layered. Peeling back those onions, there's loads to this one event, and I'm really proud of the way I've created it. Okay, next part I want to go into is hosting events that stand out. And I'm talking again from experience, because I have run many events in my time, so not many people know this who are in my world. But when I launched my first business, Dani Keepsakes, I hosted two networking events. Absolutely hated it back then. Now I love it, and that's through growth. That's through trial and error. But I also hosted some craft fairs, and the first one did absolutely amazing. We had people queuing outside the door. We had so many people come in. I don't know how many people, but it was a lot. We actually caused a traffic jam up the road. And everybody gave amazing feedback. They absolutely loved it, so much so that they booked to host a table at my next event. However, unfortunately, that event was a bit of a disaster. And the reason being is it was Easter weekend. Most people go away for Easter weekend. And there was actually an accident, and this is out of my control. So reflecting, I would have booked it at a different time, not on a bank holiday weekend, or not on a religious celebration either. So timing is everything. But there was something, the one thing out of my control is there was an accident on the road further up. So the road that people needed to get into the event, they could no longer drive down. And I got some really negative feedback as well, like why was it different? Why did people not come in like the last one? They were expecting the same success as the previous event, and I did exactly the same things as the previous event. The only difference was the time and not being able to control the accident that happened up the road. So I want to give you some tips when it comes to hosting and making sure your event stands out. So why host it in the first place? You want to boost your brand credibility. You can become known for your event, actually, and this is what I'm hugely hoping happens with Innovation Celebration. My vision for this was to have 100 people in a room. And I did think that it would be the first stage I'm speaking on. I have spoke at events before, but never on stage. However, I have actually been invited to the business festival run by Climb UK over here in Leeds this summer, and I'm going to be speaking somewhere there. A bit nervous, but I'll update you on that as the details roll out. But the idea is you can boost your brand credibility. So my vision is that this year I host the event, everybody loves it, books again, people will know about it and come back. I don't actually intend for it to get any bigger than 100 people in a room, but we will see what happens. But also what can happen is it can deepen relationships with people in your world. It can build a further connection with people that you're connected to. If you do a lot online, you'll get to meet them in person. So it means that they can really get to know you and experience your wisdom in real time. So it can really deepen those relationships. And it can also create content and visibility. We are going to capture so much content on this day. I cannot wait. We have got 2 people on the team capturing content. We've got Becky, who's my amazing photographer, and she's going to be taking photos of myself, the guest experts, the exhibitions, you as an attendee. Everyone in the room is going to get a chance to get their photos. And then we've also got Zoe, who is going to be she's going to be capturing content of the day. So this is like in video format. So things like recording snippets of the talks, recording me, recording people celebrating, recording what we get up to, maybe even recording some feedback from people. We're going to go wild. And the best thing is, I'm going to share this with every attendee. So we're going to put it into a folder or 2 folders, photos and videos, and every attendee can scour through the content, find themselves and download it to keep and use. So that's really exciting. I've always wanted to offer this. And the fact that I get to offer it on such a great scale is amazing for 100 people. So, talked about why you should host an event, but I want to talk about some tips on hosting. The first thing is know your why for the event. What's the reason behind it? So, for example, with Innovation Celebration, the why behind the event is for us to celebrate collectively, for business owners to come together to celebrate our achievements, because I know we don't do that enough, but it's also to innovate and create a strategy for the year ahead so that we can secure our future success, can't speak, and learn from experts. So that's why I want to bring everybody together in the room to celebrate, but to create and cement our future success. And that ties in with choosing a clear theme or focus. So make it about the audience transformation or experience. What is it that's going to transform for them in that moment at your event? And what is that experience that they're going to get? So I've talked about the fact that we are going to get to connect with people. We're going to get to network. We're going to get to be visible. We're going to have fun. We're going to celebrate. I've talked that we've got amazing food from a 4-star restaurant, a 4-star hotel. And the transformation in that room on the day is going to be that you are literally going to get the skills, the knowledge, the motivation, the inspiration to go and achieve your business plans. But on the day that experience, you're going to feel connected to people. You're going to be able to get visible. You're going to be able to feel heard and seen. People are going to understand you. And you're going to feel that inspiration to go and achieve your goals. That is the experience we are creating. I'm so clear on that. So you need to get clear on what your theme or focus is, and pay attention to the atmosphere as well. So think about music, how you welcome people in, icebreakers, what are you including? I love organising things like that. All the finer details I get really excited about. And when it comes to actually hosting it and selling it, think about promoting it across multiple touch points, multiple platforms. So email lists, social media, communities that you can tap into and share this event. Oh my god, I've just thought of a task that I can do and I'm going to forget, so I need to write it down. Good job. This is why I have sticky notes on hand. So I'm going to tell you what I'm writing down. Who has a community that I can share my event with? Because I'm connected to so many people on social media that will happily let me share this event to their communities, and you never know who might book and come. You never know who might be looking for events. So if I put that post out on social media, people will reply, let me know, and we can get it shared and get it out there to more people. And you definitely need to do this when it comes to an event. You need to get it out there as much as you possibly can, especially if you're aiming for big numbers, especially if the price is not low cost as well. I will admit that my event is not cheap as chips, and this is because of the venue that I've chosen, everything I want to put into it. It doesn't come cheap. Like I've just stated that we've got a photographer and content girl, right? We're getting videos, we're getting We're getting photographs. This is something I'm paying for. Everybody's getting a lovely dinner, and the VIPs are getting a luxury dinner in the restaurant. All of it costs money, and we're talking decor, selfie props, backdrops, all sorts, table decor. Everything costs money, and rightly so. So you've got to think about all that and the price point as well. Okay, here's some post-event tips. Testimonials, gather them straight after the event and save all that feedback, because this will help you to market it and share it next time. You know, strike while the iron's hot. If you can have it ready to share your next event just as this one finishes, you can get people hooked and booked on straight away. Also, share a highlight reel or recap. One thing I do love that Zoe did for me at my book launch last year is she took all the content that she captured and she created a highlight reel of the event. She did it the same day. So by the time I got home that evening, she created this highlight reel to recap the whole day, and it was so great to see. But also offer next steps. So at your event, or even at your event or just after, share the next step. Like, when are the future dates? What community can they join with you? Have you got a VIP offer? What can you give them as a next step to continue having access to you? Because the people that have been in the room are going to want more. They're going to be, like I say, strike while the iron's hot. Hosting innovation celebration and creating it has been one of the most exciting things I've worked on this year. And if you're dreaming of creating something similar, trust me, it's going to be worth it. I haven't even done it yet, and I just know that it's going to be worth it. I'm so passionate about what I actually have created here. Okay, finding the right events. I said that I was going to share this with you as well, because I know I get asked all the time, Dani, how do I find networking events that are great for me? Where do I start? Where do I look? So, my top tip, I always tell everybody to find events. You can find them online or in person. Is use Eventbrite. It's a website that's full of events. You can put your location in, you can put keywords in, have a little look on there, see what you can find. Also, there's LinkedIn. There are probably going to be events on LinkedIn as well, so have a look on there. Look at any Facebook groups that you're in. Are you in any networking groups or business groups? See what events they've got going on. A lot of business coaches tend to do events, to be honest, so have a look at those. Check out memberships as well. Are you in any memberships, and do they have any events? So, for example, Social Success Circle, my other business, that has a networking events in person and online, so you can have a look at what's going on there. But there might be other industry groups as well, so have a little look for your industry. Follow event hosts as well. So, for example, I'm now an event host, so you could follow me and you'll always see what's happening, especially when you're looking particularly for events. But you can do this on Eventbrite as well. You can follow those that host events, so go and follow them, or follow thought leaders in your niche, because they'll share what they're attending. Like, when I'm going to an event, I tend to share it, to be fair, so have a look, because they will share as well. If you're looking for in-person events, look local. Co-working spaces will probably advertise anything that they've got on. Look at any small business hubs, libraries, or any pop-up events in your local area. They will be advertised. You look for hashtags on Instagram like UK Networking or Small Business Meetup, or even search it on Facebook as well. It probably will come up. And subscribe to newsletters for insider invites. So those people that you know, those hosts of events, go and subscribe to their newsletters, because their chances are they're going to be telling you and updating you on when their events are. I do this at Social Success Circle. At the start of every month, we tell you what's coming up, where and when, so that you can see. So we usually email out the online events that are happening, which anyone can come to. And then what we do is, when you first join the newsletter, you can specify what your location is. This will give you a tag. And then when there's an event in your location, we'll send an email to you to let you know. And we'll send reminders as well, so that you're not getting news of an event that you actually can't attend. So definitely one to look at. And when it comes to finding those events, have a look. Does it align with your values and goals? Because it can be really easy to spend money on an event that actually doesn't align with you. And I've done this before. I've only been to one really bad event, and it was like a pitch fest all day. This woman was just talking about herself. All the speakers talked about her, and it was like a big pitch fest to come and work with her. And I was really disappointed. I came home so drained. I actually had a headache. So definitely make sure it aligns. Is the vibe right for your brand as well? So is it actually something that's going to be right for your brand? And are the people attending your potential clients, or people that you can collaborate with, or people that can expand your business? So if you're looking to create a team, and people could be going to that event that could be on your team, great stuff. If you're looking to collaborate with people, and these are people that you could connect with and collaborate with, then great. And if there is people who are your potential clients, you want to get in that room. So that's what you need to be thinking about. So, of course, I'm going to end with a bit of a recap, just to remind you what I've talked about today. So, first up is scrolling through my notes just a second. So, I talked about attending events with intention. Just a reminder, work on your mindset, make sure you're prepared, think about what you're going to do during the event and what you can do after the event when it comes to those intentions and what you want to get out of it. Second of all, hosting events that stand out, thinking about why you're going to host them, the top tips I've shared for hosting them, what you're going to do after the event as well. And then finding the right events, looking on websites like Eventbrite, on social media, LinkedIn events, Facebook groups, looking for in-person events locally, using those hashtags, and thinking about if this event is going to align with you and what you're going to get out of it. And to finalise, I just want to remind you to attend with intention, host with heart. So host with heart, actually value with your values with integrity and authenticity. And then finally, be strategic and curious about where you show up. Really think about it. And of course, I've got an invitation. If you're ready to step out of your bubble and into a room full of inspiration, then Innovation Celebration is for you. Join us on the 21st of November in Leeds for a day of connection, speakers, goodie bags, VIP vibes, and business celebration like never before. Tickets are live, so check the link in the show notes, because events can change the game when you approach them strategically. And who knows, the next person you meet might just change everything. And I do have a little story actually that I just want to add in. When it comes to the next person you meet might just change everything, this is what's happened for me. When I hosted my book launch event last year, I met a guy called Gordon. So Gordon was sat in a meeting the day before my book launch at the place that I was hosting it, and he was talking about the kind of entrepreneurs that he wanted to connect with to help other people and to put on his stage at the business festival this year. And someone said, "Have you heard of the Queen of Business Organisation?" He was like, "Nope, never heard of her." He's like, "I'll have to check her out." And that was that. Just that thought. He'd had that recommendation from this person in this room. And then the next day he turns up to work, and as he walks into work, there's me in my bright pink dress with my crown on, my big roller banner with my face on it and Queen of Business Organisation. So he's walked in and he's like, "Oh my god, she's there." I was literally right in front of him, unexpected, because he didn't know who I was. And he's just seen that I've got all these people coming, I've got these banners, and he goes, "Oh, I've heard about what you're doing and I'd love to have a chat." And he leaves me his business card. So I thought, okay, I'll connect with him. So I followed up with him, sent an email, we arranged a coffee, and we sat and talked for 2 hours just before Christmas. And he invited me to speak at the business festival this year. There is going to be over 4,000 delegates at this event. I've never heard of it before, but it's huge. He takes over the whole of the lead stock, and I think there's different things going on, like workshops, but stage speakers and everything like that. But yeah, over 4,000 delegates, and there's some big names on the stage. I can't quite remember who's on there, but I will come back at a later date and share more information. Of course I will. But because of hosting that event, sharing it on social media, getting it out there, it being visible, he's then heard of it, come and connected with me, and now I'm going to be on stage this summer. Very scary stuff, but I can't wait. And he said we'll promote my book. He said I potentially could sell out Innovation Celebration just by being there, and that they'll help promote it, which is amazing. I told him about Social Success Circle and the mission behind that, and he was so on board with that. Our values aligned, which was great. So it's just big opportunity. So getting in the room, being at the event, being visible can literally, you never know who you're going to meet, and you never know if the next person you might meet could just change everything. This event has the potential to change everything for me. And I can't even tell you in what ways, because there's so much more. But I'm keeping it tailored for now. So watch this space. And that's it for today. I'll see you again very soon.